Hey y'all, my name is Jada. I'm a Christian who was diagnosed with OCD. I created this channel to bring awareness to OCD as well as help people overcome their OCD. I'm coming at you today from my kitchen. I figured it'd be a cute change of pace. I got my mug here, I'm sipping some coffee, and we are gonna get into some deep stuff today. Did you know that it takes the average OCD sufferer 14 to 17 years to be diagnosed correctly? What? That is absolutely mind-blowing. That is a decade and a half, close to 2 decades, where a person is living with undiagnosed OCD, where they're having their life taken from them. That's 14 to 17 years of being afraid of your own mind. That's 14 to 17 years of trying to stop the thought or trying to pray the thought away. That's 14 to 17 years of relationships that are lost because the thoughts are trying to attack those people you know and love. That's 14 to 17 years of not being able to be present with the people around you or in different situations or in different memories because you're trying to figure something out in your brain. That's 14 to 17 years of being afraid of when the next thought's gonna come. That's 14 to 17 years of occasionally thinking that dying would be better than having to live with these thoughts. I can tell you without a doubt that OCD does take life away. But there are a couple different factors that play a role into why it takes so long for an OCD sufferer to be diagnosed. The first reason it takes OCD sufferers so long to be diagnosed is because they're so embarrassed and ashamed of their thoughts. So of course, you don't want to go to your doctor, your friends, and your family to share what you're thinking about because, quite honestly, you could be seen as psychotic. Can you imagine having your first baby and all of a sudden you think, what if I just took this pillow and suffocated my baby? Would you tell anybody about that thought? Probably not. The crazy thing is 92% of humans experience intrusive thoughts. Thoughts that just pop into our brains. If more people knew that it was common to experience unwanted, intrusive, and these taboo thoughts, maybe more people would be comfortable with talking about them and not assigning meaning to them. But this is a big reason why OCD is not diagnosed sooner. People are afraid to share their thoughts because they think it's maybe who they are or what they actually want to do. But honestly, that could not be farther from the truth. Reason number 2 is probably, in my opinion, the biggest reason why OCD sufferers do not get diagnosed for 14 to 17 years. It is because there's such a lack of recognition of the symptoms by primary care doctors and physicians. In fact, there was a study done where doctors were given the symptoms of an OCD case with different subtypes like contamination, aggression, pedophilia, and the study found that only half of the doctors were able to correctly diagnose the person with OCD or the case with OCD. Yo, that's half. Half of doctors wrongly diagnosed, which means that that person in that case would continue to search for the answers. OCD can also be misdiagnosed as psychosis. Yeah, psychosis. In fact, there was a study where women who experienced postpartum OCD went to their doctor, and 30% of the time they were actually diagnosed with psychosis rather than the correct diagnosis of OCD. Why is this happening? Well, it's simple. It's because doctors don't know the full realm of what OCD can actually be. They don't know the different ways that OCD can actually present itself. Just like I've been saying over and over again, OCD is not just, oh my goodness, I have to clean my hands until they bleed, or oh my goodness, I need to make sure everything is in perfect order in my house. No, that's not the case. OCD can present itself in so many different ways and with so many different thoughts. And I believe that in the medical world, OCD is not correctly diagnosed because of the stigma around OCD. So it makes sense that doctors are misdiagnosing OCD when they're misinformed. The third and final reason why it takes so long to diagnose OCD is because our families, our loved ones, the people who care about us most often feed into our OCD. We often want reassurance. We often want our loved one to check the door handle, or we want them to reassure us that we are in a loving and committed relationship, or different things for that matter. Little do we know that them reassuring us in those different areas of our life is actually causing more damage than good. Our families don't know any better. And heck, at that season of life, when I was doing all those things and trying to get reassurance from the people around me, I didn't know any better either. But the reassurance from your loved ones actually makes the OCD worse. Overall, these are some reasons why it takes over a decade for most people to be diagnosed with OCD. I pray that this video will bring awareness to you or to someone you love. If you have unwanted intrusive thoughts, or somebody you know and love is experiencing unwanted intrusive thoughts, I encourage you to talk to an OCD specialist. I went to OCD. It's an online platform where there are specific OCD specialists, and I encourage you to actually talk to somebody and see, okay, is this OCD or is this just a general anxiety disorder? Both can be crippling, but there's different treatment for both. I pray that the medical world would become more knowledgeable about OCD, and I pray that if you're struggling with thoughts, you would find relief and help like I did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Cheers! It says cherish every moment. Ooh. Bye, y'all.